New video shows several women being taken away by the Cook County Sheriff's Office moments after witnesses say they were demonstrating peacefully in the middle of the street.
America, we just witnessed the most pathetic display of suburban white mom privilege I've ever seen. 14 privileged women from Oak Park jumped over barricades to form a human chain protecting illegal immigrants from deportation. The same illegal immigrants who use children as human shields when they flee into daycares. But here's what's really sick. These women have zero energy for the gang violence and drug dealers terrorizing Chicago communities. But they'll get arrested to protect criminals who broke our immigration laws. Don't these suburban white moms have a bake sale to attend?
Tanya, a group of 14 suburban moms, as they call themselves, were arrested a short time ago outside the Broadview ICE facility here after sitting in a circle blocking the middle of this road.
What is up, guys? Tyson here. Thank you so much for rocking with me. You know darn well most of these women are probably either married to a simp or willfully divorced, because no real man would let his wife get arrested protecting criminals while their children are left without dinner and having to explain to teachers why mommy couldn't pick them up from school today. Let me break down the absolute hypocrisy of these suburban white moms who jumped over barricades to protect illegal immigrants. This all sparked after the illegal immigrant ran into a daycare and used children as human shields to avoid arrest. But somehow these privileged women think the real victims are the criminals, not the children who were terrorized.
At least 14 people have been arrested in connection with protests right near the Broadview ICE facility. Cook County Sheriff's Department tells us they are working right now to identify the individuals and their charges right now.
My question is, where is this same energy for communities getting tormented by gang violence and drugs in the communities throughout Chicago? These women will drive from their safe Oak Park neighborhood to protect criminals, but they won't lift a finger to help American families whose children are getting shot by gang members or poisoned by fentanyl dealers.
Nobody was causing any damage. Nobody was causing any harm. There was no traffic being impeded. And now these very, very well-meaning mothers who are here to speak up for the voices of children who can't speak up for themselves were carried away.
Listen to this witness claiming these moms aren't causing any harm. Really? Obstructing federal law enforcement isn't causing any harm? Interfering with deportation of criminals isn't causing any harm? What about the harm to the rule of law and safety of American communities? Now let me tell you about the disgusting way these suburban white moms are using their privilege to obstruct justice. Listen to what Teresa Shattuck from Oak Park said about why she got arrested.
We want to use our collective power and our white privilege in a way it should be used.
Did you hear that? She literally said they're using their white privilege to protect criminals from law enforcement. They know they'll get treated differently by police because they're privileged white women, and they're exploiting that difference to obstruct justice.
And our communities are living in abject fear, and it's time for people that look like us to take a stand and put our own physical bodies in front of those bodies.
Our communities are living in abject fear, and it's time for people that look like us to take a stand, put our own physical bodies in front of those bodies.
One person said they're using their bodies as human shields. Use that same energy when an illegal immigrant criminal is trying to kidnap an American teen. Where was this same energy when American children were being victimized by illegal immigrant criminals? Where were these so-called human shields when MS-13 gang members were terrorizing American communities? Let me highlight the interviews with these people and really contradict their narrative here. These women are claiming they're protecting innocent families, but they're actually protecting people who broke federal law and endangered children.
The moms sit in a circle and hold hands, chanting in peaceful protest.
They're sitting in a circle holding hands like they're in some kind of spiritual retreat, but they're actually obstructing federal agents who are just trying to deport criminals. This isn't peaceful protest. This is interference of law enforcement operations.
We are demanding that we have the opportunity to provide pastoral and spiritual care to those who are detained.
Father Michael was out here saying they need to get the hell out of Chicago. They need to get the hell out of Illinois. This is not acceptable. We're going to fight against them. This man is a priest telling federal law enforcement to get the hell out while defending people who broke immigration law.
Campaign of chaos. That's how they describe DHS's Operation Midway Blitz immigration enforcement. Protesters say they're enraged by the terror being inflicted upon their communities.
Megan Carter called immigration enforcement a campaign of chaos and said agents are terrorizing their communities. But what's really terrorizing? Arresting people who broke the law or having illegal immigrants flee into schools and using children as human shields. We see this time and time again. These people have nothing better to do than obstruct law enforcement. While they get arrested, their children and cats are left with no dinner. Some poor suburban white kid had to explain to his teachers why his mom couldn't pick him up from school today.
My mom was protecting criminal illegal immigrants from getting deported.
They are organizing to demand an end to the separation of families by federal agents.
These women are demanding an end to family separation. But what about the American families that have been separated permanently because their children were killed by illegal alien drunk drivers? What about the American families destroyed by fentanyl, brought in by illegal immigrant drug dealers?
Interfaith leaders gathered for a prayer service in front of the ICE processing facility shortly after the women were detained. They were joined by protesters who have been demonstrating out here for weeks.
We believe that our faith is stronger than fear and any chaos that they can create. So we're here standing in solidarity, letting people know that we're going to continue to fight.
They're holding prayer services for people who broke federal law. But where are the prayer services for American victims of illegal immigrant crime? Where are the candlelight vigils for American children who have been victimized by people who shouldn't even be in our country? The most infuriating part of this whole situation is that these suburban moms are living in their safe neighborhood in Oak Park and other western suburbs, protesting the arrests of people who were breaking federal law, while they don't even have to deal with the consequences of illegal immigration in their gated communities.
Of about 20 cars, I'd say, have been driving by the intersection of Beach and Lexington outside the Broadview ICE facility here, honking their horns with signs posted on their vehicles that say, "Hands off Chicago."
Look at this caravan of about 20 cars driving around with anti-Trump signs. These people have turned immigration enforcement into a partisan political issue instead of recognizing it's a matter of public safety and rule of law. They don't have to worry about their jobs being taken by people for below minimum wage. They don't have to worry about their schools being overcrowded. They don't have to worry about their neighborhoods becoming unsafe. But they want to tell the rest of us that we should just accept unlimited illegal immigration. These women are from the most expensive, safest suburbs in Chicago area coming to protest immigration enforcement. They're using their privilege to protect criminals while living in communities that are isolated from the consequences of their activism. While these suburban moms are getting arrested for obstructing justice, Operation Midway Blitz is delivering real results for American communities. This operation has been targeting illegal immigrants who are driving commercial vehicles without proper licensing or legal status.
We believe that our faith is stronger than fear and any chaos that they can create. So we're here standing in solidarity, letting people know that we're going to continue to fight for our people because we believe that we have the power to conquer.
They're talking about faith being stronger than fear. But what about the faith of the rule of law? What about the faith that our government will protect American citizens from people who broke our immigration laws? Operation Midway Blitz has removed dangerous drivers from our highways, including illegal immigrants operating commercial vehicles who couldn't speak English and didn't understand traffic laws. These are real public safety threats that these suburban moms should be more concerned about. But instead of supporting operations that make communities safer, they're getting arrested to protect the very people who make our communities more dangerous. The priorities here are completely backwards. The most tragic part of this story isn't the arrests of suburban white moms. It's what's happening to their own children while they're being arrested for protecting criminals. These women abandon their parental responsibilities to engage in political theater. Some poor white suburban kid had to explain to his teachers why his mom couldn't pick him up from school today. How do you think that conversation went? While these women were sitting in circles holding hands outside of an ICE facility, their own children were probably wondering where mommy was and why dinner wasn't ready. Their cats were probably hungry too, because these women prioritized protecting criminals over taking care of their own families. The Cook County Sheriff's Office says all 14 women were issued citations for obstruction and disorderly conduct. They'll probably get slaps on the wrist because of their privilege, but their children will remember why mommy chose to protect criminals over being there for them. America, this story perfectly illustrates everything wrong with suburban white liberal activism. These privileged white women have so little real struggle in their lives that they've invented a cause that requires them to protect criminals from law enforcement. They jumped over barricades to form human chains protecting illegal immigrants, the same illegal immigrants who use American children as shields when they flee into schools. But somehow these women think the criminals are victims and ICE agents are the villains. Where is this same energy for American communities being destroyed by gang violence and drug dealers? Where are these human shields when American children are being victimized by illegal immigrant criminals? The hypocrisy is absolutely staggering. These women using their white privilege to obstruct justice while their own children suffer the consequences of their misplaced activism. They're more concerned about protecting people who broke federal law than they are about being responsible parents to their own children. Don't these suburban white moms have a bake sale to attend? Don't they have a PTA meeting or soccer practice to worry about? Instead, they're getting arrested to interfere with federal law enforcement while their children are left wondering why mommy chose criminals over family. The priorities here are completely backwards, and it shows you exactly how disconnected these privileged white women are from the real consequences of illegal immigration that affect working class American families every single day. Let me know what you think about this. Drop it down in the comment section down below. Smash the like button if you kindly would. Share, subscribe, and as always, guys, I'll catch you on the next one.